All right, in this video, we're going to start our notes and we're going to start talking about functions. So what I need you to do in your notebooks is write this title, Intro to Relations, which are going to be the first part of our function lesson, and then put today's date in the top corner of your notebook. So make sure you have your notebook out and you're taking notes on your notebook. All right. So we're going to start with just a definition. A relation is a pairing of input values with output values. The best way I can describe that is think of a vending machine. Make that nice and large so you can see it. Think of a vending machine where you have your inputs are the code and the output is the candy or the food you get. That's how you would think of a function, or a relation. And so in math class, we have 5 types of relations. There's ordered pairs, which we did in our bell ringer the other day. There's the graph of those ordered pairs. Tables. A new one that you might not have known before, mapping diagrams. And equations. So we're going to look at each of those today to get a sense of how those each work. So let me make sure this is lined up a little better. There we go. So we have 5 types of relations: ordered pairs, graphs, tables, mapping diagrams, and so forth. So let me start with some ordered pairs. I'm going to give you some ordered pairs here on the side. And these should look familiar. Let's say I did -2, -2, 1, 1, 3, 3, and then let's say 4, 5. Those are just ordered pairs. Remember, ordered pairs are always listed as x and then y. So you list your x value and then your y value. From there, we can look at a graph. Let me get my graph over here so you can see it. And at this point, I'd like you to tape in the graph that I gave you in class into your notebook. And so what we're going to do is just graph those ordered pairs that we see there. I'm going to draw with my drawing tool here. I have -2, -2. So that's going to be, I'm going to use the circle here to make a nice circle right there. Then I've got 1, 1, which is right there. 3, 3, which is right here. Let me draw a little bit better for that one. And then 4, 5, which is right here. So these are all things in math that you've seen before. We're just giving them a better official name as a relation, comparing an input value to an output value. So we have our x values with our y values. See if I can make that a little bit darker so you can see it. There we go. So that's ordered pairs. We know what ordered pairs look like. We know what a graph looks like. The table is pretty straightforward too. It's just going to be with your x and y values. So for us, I'm going to make a table here. And we're going to make an x and y table of those values. And we're just going to use the values that we saw in our ordered pairs. So -2 goes with -2. 1 goes with 1, 3 goes with 3, and 4 goes with 5. Let me make that a better 5. So those are relations that we've seen before. The last type that we're going to talk about is a mapping diagram and then equations. So mapping diagram is really just taking your x values and putting it in an oval and drawing an arrow to connect it to your y values. So let me get spaces down here for us. And then you're going to make sure this is in your notebook as well. So we have mapping diagram. All right. So what you do is you have an oval, and those are going to be your x values mapped out with your y values. And we'll talk more about these as we work on them. But this is just kind of a little intro to them. So we're going to have our x values matching up with our y values. So we list our orders in the mapping diagram from the numbers in order from least to greatest. So I have -2, 1, 3, and 4 as x values. And my y values are -2, 1, 3, and 5. And then so the mapping diagram is just connecting with the line or the arrow what input goes with what output. And that gives you your mapping diagram. So these are the types of relations that we're going to work with in class this year. I just want to make sure you're comfortable seeing them in the different forms. Just trying to make that a better 2. That's what we're going to work on in class. So make sure you got these notes in your notebook, and we'll start working with relations.